Now, recently we had a presentation provided to different customers. So, what they were saying is, we want to implement data warehousing. Now, different companies have to go and present them the solution that they have to go with. They decided for SAP. Now, we have to propose them the different solution, whether they have to go with HANA or they have to go with IQ. What any option you think of. Yeah. So what we said is, we said we will go with IQ. We said we'll use BODS and extract all the data into SAP IQ, and then we'll do reporting with business objects. That was our solution. Okay. So the question is, now as a solution architect, why did you propose this one? Why not BW, which is your favorite area, and why not HANA? Right? Now look at this. If you look at now first case, now why no BW there? Okay. Actually, what happens is you know about business suite, right? ECC, CRM, AP, all this. Now what SAP does is, if I buy SAP business suite, ECC or CRM or AP or anything, okay, with 50 user licenses, your BW is free for it. Getting what I'm saying? If there's a customer who is buying SAP business suite with the minimum 50 user licenses, BW is given freely. The licensing of BW would be free. So, okay, but there is a condition supply saying they can only use this BW, only extracting data from that business suite into BW and then do reporting. They cannot extract from any other application. Getting what I'm saying? If there's a customer who is buying the business suite with minimum 50 user licenses, is been given with BW free licenses on BW. So they can use, when it is free, it is better to use what? BW in that case. They'll install BW and they upload all the data to BW as a warehouse and they'll do reporting. But in the conditions, you have to use this BW only as a warehouse for extracting data from the business suite what you have purchased from me. Apart from this, some 10%, 20% from flat files is okay. Okay, that is one condition. Suppose if you want to extract.
I think.
Hello, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me, yeah. Okay, that is one. Okay. So next case is, let's say now if the customer is want to extract it from non-SAP, he doesn't want to use that SAP. There's a lot of non-SAP data coming in. Then he cannot use that license. He cannot use that free license what has been given. But still he can buy new BW. Getting what I'm saying? Okay, he can still buy a new BW system, again new licensing on BW, then where he'll push down all the non-SAP data into, right? All right, good. Now what SAP says is, if you're extracting data from non-SAP systems and you want only non-SAP systems and you want to set up a warehouse with BW, you're not really leveraging business content in that case. Then why do you want to set up such a huge server of BW for implementing warehouse? BW NetWeaver suite is because they don't sell BW separately. It is a complete NetWeaver suite, right? It will be very huge. So when you're only extracting data from non-SAP systems where you're not leveraging business content, because BW is really strong in business content. When you're not leveraging the standard content what I've given, why do you want to go with BW then, which is huge server to set up? And moreover, licensing is more costlier when compared to others, when compared to IQ also. That is one point of discussion. The next what we say is, since we're extracting non-SAP, I'm not using the business content of BW, then my option of BW is ruled out. So next option is, I've got two things. Either I use HANA as a database, or I implement with what? I implement the warehouse with IQ. There are two options here. Clear in this? Okay. If the customer has got huge amount of data, okay, really huge, okay, and then they would like to have reporting frequencies really in real time, means as and when the transaction is done, they would like to have the reporting and there is huge amount of data, then would be HANA. And the data is not so huge, the number of transactions are not so huge, and the periodicity is really less, like some once in month or once in daily or like say hourly, they don't want any real time something, then I can go with what? IQ. Because even IQ does support columnar storage of databases. So within SAP technologies, you can implement warehousing in either of these cases. That is where analytics is moving towards now. Now, when you just can't say I'm a BW resource, you should say I'm an SAP analytics resource. When you say SAP analytics resource, if you be able to handle a warehouse implementation with BW, you handle a warehouse implementation with HANA as a warehouse database, or even IQ as a warehouse database. That's the
Hello.
yeah. Hello, yeah.
Hello, sir. Some voice, unnecessary noise is coming.
Okay. In memory, yeah. And IQ is also like a platform. So I said Access Engine, right? IQ also, even in IQ, you can deploy your own web service also. There is not flexibility. From SAP IQ itself, they brought in all these concepts into HANA. Not exactly in memory. There is a concept called RLVN, and the role level versioning. And with that, you can put some data into memory. It's not completely in memory. That's what I'm saying. If the customer requirement is that the data is not so huge, and they're not expecting any real-time reporting, they're okay running report once in a while, IQ is fine. And it's cheaper. Okay, SAP what SAP is doing is they're not selling it as separate tools. Now they made that as grouping, analytics edition, edge series like that. So when you say analytics edition, you get IQ, SAP IQ for warehouse, and you get BODI, not even DS complete, not even data quality. You will get only data integrator, and you will get only SAP IQ as a warehouse and BO full suite. They refer that as analytics edition or platform edition or edge edition. They're selling the suite like that. And there might be a customer who's getting with HANA, that's a different HANA mechanism.
Which technology they use before HANA and
BW, right? Before these two were there, when you say data warehousing solution from SAP, it was only BW. Now with the involvement of IQ and HANA coming in, and BODS as ETL tool coming in, within SAP there are a lot of tools with overlapping functionality. When I say ETL, I can use BW extraction mechanism, I can use BODS, I can use a mechanism of SLT. There are a lot of overlapping, but the deciding which one to be used is a solutioning. So when you go to the customer, you should be able to propose a solution. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to leverage more of a business content, then and more of complex planning applications with BPC or IP, then it would be BW for big major of the customers. But if you're implementing a small warehouse where the data volume is really less and the reporting frequency is not real time, it's okay, then it will be a like cheaper way of implementing warehouse. It would be a BODS with analytics addition with BODI or DS, SAP IQ for warehousing, and BO for reporting. And if the customer is really huge and don't want to use any business content, and the data is really huge and they want to have real-time reporting, then you can get into SAP. Now it becomes important for a customer who wants to have real-time reporting and has got huge amount of data. He is really facing a lot of problems with the performance. For him, that becomes important for him to go for HANA. HANA is costly, fine, but he's facing so many issues. He has already spent 100 crores, but he's not able to leverage it. Then what? So that the 100 crores get the justification. Getting what I'm saying? That's how it is. Your problem is, yeah.
the client having SAP CRM, video, and ECC, and also non-SAP systems, so they want to load the data to.
Then they'll use BW. That's what I'm saying. If the source is with SAP and non-SAP, then my warehouse would be preferably BW. If my source is completely non-SAP, let's say I'm using some PDF files, some flat file or something, then it will I'll try to get into this mechanism. If I've got BW along with the business suite, that is free. My licensing is free, so I would leverage BW. And moreover, with the new versions of BW, they made a functionality that you don't need to create any info objects. I can straight away leverage the metadata of the fields of the source itself to build my providers. I don't even need to create info objects.
BW is not a database, right? It's a database.
BW is a data warehousing application. HANA is a database which can be used to implement data warehousing application. Difference. And we can also say, if you want to have leverage BW along with high performance, I can also go with BW powered by HANA. I will leverage BW application because whenever you install BW, you have to install database first. You have to install OS, database, then kernel, then you will install ABAP stuff. So when you install a database, I can install with HANA first. So I can install SAP HANA. On top of it, I can install BW. So I can even then that could be hybrid combination where I'm leveraging functionality of BW as well as functionality of HANA. So mixed up approach, mixed model. You can also look at that solutioning also with BW on HANA or just core HANA, just BW, just with IQ. Any kind of data warehousing solution can depends on the requirements of the customers. How much of volume of data they have, what is the frequency of the reporting they're expecting, are their sources SAP or non-SAP. Based on that, we get onto solution. Okay. Yeah.
So in the future, they are telling that BW is you can ignore that one with only data thing.
So now the question comes saying in future BW is out. No.
Because whatever BW.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. So even if I take the explanation what I've given, what I said, if the customer has got source as SAP, then BW becomes really important because I would like to leverage the business content of it. So if you see majority of the customers who are implementing warehousing with SAP, obviously they would have the backend as SAP. At least if not 100%, 90% you would find customers with ECC or CRM or something in the backend only go with data warehousing implement with SAP. In that case, BW is still there, not to worry. The customers who have got already BW will migrate their database from non-HANA database to HANA, then use it. So I already have BW. Now the question comes, you're saying, now if you have BW, let's say now HANA comes in, now BW is moved out of that. So the two options here. So there's already a customer who is already leveraging BW and implemented entire warehouse and is using it. Now there should be some problem why he buys HANA, right? So the problem is performance. The performance of the queries is really bad, so he has decided to go for SAP HANA. Now I give you two options. One option is you scrap out the entire BW, install new HANA database, rebuild all the logics, rebuild all the modeling again, and then do reporting. That is one option. Suppose if it is BW, if you want to extract sales order, do we have ready-made LO extractor? If you want to extract deliveries, you have ready-made extractor. Suppose if you are using HANA, if I'm using BODS, I can use data source. But if you want to re-implement that logic again, it is going to be real complex. If I'm using SLT, where I can't extract data source, I'll have to extract data from table only. If I have to bring in all the tables and re-implement the logic of LO extractor, it is not so easy. So again, it will take 5 years of time to get the data warehouse ready. By the time HANA comes in, that's the problem. That is one option. One more option, you want performance, right? User is least bothered whether my data is stored in HANA or my data is stored in BW. He wants performance. Other option is you have existing BW just like that. Within 3 weeks, I'll take out the old database and replace that with the new HANA database. I will lift the data from the old database and shift it to the new HANA database, and I'll connect this HANA database to the existing BW. Now we'll have new BW or old BW running on HANA database. This is one. It will take around 3 weeks for one instance. You'll have development, quality, production. So approximately 3 months project, and you have it. Now which gives him ROI more. He has invested a lot of money on HANA. Within 3 months of time, he is able to get that performance out. Now tell me. So BW is not going anywhere. BW will be the main one. Okay. Still, the value of BW is increased with HANA coming in, with the combination of hybrid with BW on HANA. BW HANA వచ్చింది BW వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. HANA database. HANA is a database. BW is a data warehousing application, EDW application, which will have all the functional. So now, do you have like scheduling of process chains in HANA? Well, BW ఉండదు, database అంతవరకు. But it's an in-memory database which can really give you a lot of difference in the performance. So now from BW 7.3, we have flexibility of having BW sitting on top of HANA. Now, you want to get the performance, lift and shift the database onto HANA. That's it. You get it?
Good.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
a question here.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between like a standard BW on top of SQL or Oracle database versus BW on HANA?
Yeah.
Is there any additional features enabled by SAP on HANA?
Yeah. See, now the question, let's not go topic, but let's clarify all the dots. What he says is, if I have my BW running on SQL Server database, that is one instance. let's say I have another instance where BW is running on HANA bus. Will I have any difference in the functionalities or the concepts what I get in? Yes, you'll have a lot of difference. Because if you look at from BW 7.3, what are the improvements there have been? It is from 7.3 we can start having HANA as a backend database for BW bus. From then onwards, what are the improvements has been made, like advanced DSO or open ODS view, all this is been post
Hello.
concepts.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Some background noise is coming, sir.
Now see, you all go on mute, then yeah. We are discussing on BW on SQL Server or BW on HANA bus. From BW 7.3, it starts supporting to have HANA as a backend database, and from then onwards, what are the new improvements or new developments is being done? It's all towards the development, towards the HANA capable, HANA compatible tool. So you have advanced DSO. Advanced DSO available only when you have HANA as a backend. Getting what I'm saying? HANA based you'll have composite provider, two things. You'll have local composite providers and HANA composite provider. HANA composite provider is only specific when you have HANA as a backend. That is one. And one more thing is, when we had SQL Server as a backend database, we never used to log into the database at all. We were always working on the application, BW only. But when I have BW with HANA combination, I would like leverage the modeling of BW as well as model, because HANA, apart from database, it can also be referred as a modeling environment. I would like leverage the modeling of BW and modeling of and HANA also together. So now if HANA comes in, I have flexible of leveraging HANA modeling and in-memory database, and I also have lots of the new concepts of BW only works with HANA as a backend database. So if you have HANA, you can enjoy those features. If you don't have HANA, you cannot enjoy those features. That's the concept. That is what they're trying to do. Okay.
I have one more question.
Yeah, please.
I mean, with the, now we have S4 HANA, so there are a lot of, simplification is happening on the backend side, yeah? So number of tables are coming down and all this aspect. So how it is going to impact the existing, say, for example, we discussed about logistics data sources, yeah?
Yeah.
So with simplified logistics, probably the data source, how the delta logic, whatever is built in current logistics data sources will change.
Yeah, I got your question. The question was, it's if S4 HANA comes in, what will be the effect on the other data warehousing applications or the solutions here?
Yeah, like for example, instead of BW, they can directly go with BODS or SLT.
Yeah. See, when I say S4 HANA, it's not separate application. It's like business suite more compatible towards HANA. That's it. When I say S4 HANA, adunko HANA gadanna. It's like normal SAP business suite more compatible towards HANA. For example, ECC application more compatible towards HANA. That is S4 HANA. And now we had FICO, right? They came out with saying simplified finance. So what they've done is they have simplified the processing of FICO functionality. They call it as simplified finance. In future, we'll start getting simplified production, simplified sales, and also. And then aware. It's all ECC, more compatible towards HANA is what S4 HANA is. Now,
BW effect
now say I've got ECC application more compatible towards HANA now. Let's say instead of customer having ECC is going for S4 HANA. So in that case, we'll have BW or not? That's the question. In that case, we'll have to implement a data warehousing with HANA or IQ, yes or no? That's the question. So my question, number of tables will go down. Because what they say is, since HANA has got columnar storage of database, I'm not really worried about normalizing database. Because of the way it stores data in case of columnar storage, we'll discuss later. But in case of columnar storage, you're not really worried about normalization. I can just dump my data just like that, without even worried about one-to-one, meaning relational table. So what SAP has done is they've identified a lot of columns of the tables not being used. They've reduced the number of tables and they're trying to make the table more denormalized because my database is HANA, which is supporting columnar storage. That's their point of focus. Instead of storing in a lot of tables, then worry about joining at the runtime, let me put all data into single table. My runtime of processing the data is much faster. That is their target. So previously, our worry was denormalizing it, but even though it is denormalized, since it is columnar storage, I'm not wasting my database space. That's the point. Now, if this is the case, say now, do I need BW or not? That's the question. So my question is, if I have a customer with S4 HANA there, if he's got only S4 HANA, instead of implementing a data warehousing, why don't you do reporting on that HANA itself? He's got S4 application or ECC compatible application sitting on HANA. So all the tables of ECC or S4 on the HANA database. So leverage the same HANA database on top of, instead of doing any provisioning, leverage the same tables or same application tables, build HANA models on those tables and then do reporting straight away. Why do I need another data warehousing? You getting what I'm saying? If there's a customer who's already got S4 application sitting on top of HANA there, all the application tables of S4 is sitting in the underlying HANA database itself and the application schema. Now leverage the tables of that application schema and then build your virtualization models like attribute view, calculation view, analytical view, and then do report with view. Why do I need BW? Why do I need BW on HANA? Why do I need another HANA? Right? But the question now comes is, if I need to integrate this data with other non-SAP systems, this is suitable, this is fine. If he's trying to do reporting only on the data what is available in that particular S4 HANA system. Let's say I've got North America data in this system, Europe data in another SAP system. Let's say Asia Pacific data is in another mainframe system. Then if I need to integrate all this, two cases: either bring all those data into this HANA database by using SLT or BODS, get all those data into this particular HANA database, and then do reporting on top of it. If I do that, the database size becomes huge, which has been leveraged for OLTP processing. So again, I need to go with what? Warehouse. So it depends on situation. If there is a customer only with ECC, no other applications, we can also suggest them saying lift and shift your database of ECC to HANA. Then all the application tables of ECC are in the underlying HANA database itself. You can leverage HANA Live, which is a RDS, Rapid Deployment Solutions. The SAP has given something called HANA Live. Assuming all the ECC tables are there in the HANA database, and they have given ready-made HANA models, we can use those models and then do reporting. I can deploy HANA Live in that case. But this will make sense only if the customer has got only ECC. If he has to integrate data from multiple applications, that may not make sense. Because if you look at customers like BMW, they've got 360 applications. Then, ultimately again, you end up implementing data warehousing either with separate HANA instance or with the same HANA instance what is in the backend of S4 or ECC. Okay.
And if we are using BW older version like 3.x, then is it possible to use backend as HANA?
Only from BW 7.3 SP5 we can have HANA as a backend database. Say for example, if there is a customer who has got BW 3.5, if he wants to leverage the performance of HANA, first of all he has to upgrade their BW system from BW 3.5 to 7.3 minimum, and then migrate the database. So what generally they do is, generally they migrate to 7.x, and from there they do upgrade and migration together. Some DMO, there is something called database migration option, which can perform upgrade, but if it is 3.5, it cannot do. If it is from 7.x, DMO can combine both upgrade and migration together. But if it's 3.5, you have to handle upgrade separately, migration of database separately. Okay. Okay. And that's what next we can also see. HANA is a database, right? So we can use that as a database for any application you want. Similar way, what SAP has done is, so we can, from BW 7.3 SP5, we can have BW having HANA as a backend database, or we can also have SAP ECC sitting on HANA, and this would be future what they're trying to look at. It will be one single HANA platform where all your applications will be deployed on top of it. BW, ECC, okay, HANA mide. As soon as your ECC creates your transaction, the table is in the same database, and the same table will be consumed by BW. No duplicate, no data being stored duplicately. This will be future. What there will be one single HANA platform where they'll have multiple applications sitting on top of the same platforms, and the data will be shared across multiple applications. Okay, no. OLTP applications can sit on HANA, OLAP also can sit on HANA. Now meaning serious. Yeah. Yeah.
So what is the concept of this OLAP and OLTP?
OLTP takes care about processing all the transactions, and OLAP takes care about analyzing all the transactions what has been processed with OLTP. So you can understand this is more like a transaction system. This is more like an analytical system. So what I mean, any kind of application can sit on HANA, whether it is transaction processing system or analytical systems. Yeah, next use case, we can also use HANA as accelerator. When you say accelerator, it's like you want to speed up some things, okay? Let's say this is a case now. I've got EC's application and I've got it running on non-HANA data, let's say SQL Server or whatever it is, okay? Then what you want is, you would like, let's say there is certain business functionality of ECC which is running slow, and you want to improve the performance of that particular business process only. For example, in ECC, I have some ABAP reports designed on COPA reporting, or let's say on CE1 table, which is actual, which is a huge table, and the performance is really bad. So you would like to use HANA just to improve the performance of this particular process. Let's say when they're processing their sales order, we have process called ATP, availability to promise. And that process is taking a lot of time in my business. So I want to leverage HANA just to implement that particular process. That is like leveraging HANA as accelerator. Okay, so what I'll do is, we install HANA as a secondary HANA database and push down all the tables from the non-HANA into the HANA database through SLT with all the relevant tables. Let's say I want to improve ATP process. All the tables which is used by ATP process will be pushed on to HANA database, and then I'll customize my ABAP program of ECC to start referring data, pushing down by scripting. I'll push down the logic into HANA database. So the logic process of ATP will be triggered by a stored procedure in HANA, and then improving the performance. So this is the kind of functionality where I'm using HANA just to speed up certain business functionality. There will be some cases where, for example, if you look at Bank of America, they're just using HANA only for one purpose. They have certain data loads going from BW to BPC, okay? And it takes 45 minutes, and they want it to be done in 15 minutes. That's the requirement. మొత్తం చేసి కాకుండా అలా HANA పెట్ట 20 minutes వరకు ఉంది. ఇంకా they have to improvise it to make it to 15. So in this case, they're using HANA just to improve certain business functionality what they wanted. So in that case, we refer it as using HANA as accelerator. You want to accelerate certain business functionalities. Okay. And this is what so NonSAP about Datamart, database and accelerator. And next is about what? Cloud. And we can also have HANA set up on cloud also. Generally, there are certain applications which are not licensed for cloud, but HANA is also has got licensed for cloud. So SAP accepts to you place it on the cloud also. So when I say cloud, it's all virtual. It's all about specifying virtual VMs. We had done other day. We had done sizing. That was not for HANA. That was for IQ. So we are supposed to tell them how many, what is your hardware sizing you want. So when we said we'll implementing this warehouse with BODS and IQ, and then let's say BO as a reporting. So and they would like to set up that on the cloud. Okay, they got their own private cloud. They want to set up that on the cloud. Specify what is hardware sizing you want. How many? When it's a sizing, there are mainly 2 points they would have. 3 points you can. The 3 points they are trying to focus on. One is how many VMs do you want? Nothing but how many cores you need, and how much is the RAM you want, and how much is the storage you want. Getting this? What the 3 things majorly when you got to indicate the hardware sizing, you majorly focus on 3 things. One is how many of CPUs do you want, or how many cores do you want, and what is the RAM size you want, and what is the disk, the storage disk, the fixed storage disk you want. SAN, okay? And we'll have another SAN, which will be network storage, NAS, which will be network storage. That is different again. But dedicate to the system, how much of storage do you want? That's what it is. So what they do is, you basically have some calculations. Let's say if it is HANA, what it is, you got to push some other database data into HANA, right? When you say you're implementing HANA as a data warehouse, you already have your data in ECC or some non-SAP or whatever, wherever it is. You know the size of the database. You know the size of that footprint. You take that footprint size, let's say they say 100 GB. Now you got to place that 100 GB of data into HANA data. Then you understand. When you say implementing warehouse with HANA, you would like to extract data from some different source and put into this, right? So you already know what is the size of the footprint of the database, and based on it, they start calculating this size bus of the HANA database. They have some calculations. They say it's approximate. They take 1/4 of it. So if it is 100 GB, they assume that HANA can compress the data by 1/4 time minimum. Okay. So the storage I would need is 25 GB. Then they'll double it for another system tables. Then again double up that. They'll use some formula that decide I want so much of RAM. Okay. And then once they decide about RAM, and there'll be some calculation for every core you need to have 8 GB of RAM something. If I want 64 GB, then I'll have to go with 16 cores or 16 VMs. Then I'll say I want a server with 16 VMs or 16 GB RAM or 128 GB RAM, and this is a disk size I want. Disk size is generally 4 times of your RAM. If RAM is say 64 GB, and 64 GB into 4 will be your disk size. And you also need to specify one more size about log. What is this? One time of your RAM is your log size. So log over disk, data volume over disk, RAM, CPU. So generally they calculate the RAM size based on the footprint size of the source, and then they have some additional calculations. And then 4 times of that will be your hard disk, and 1 time of that will be your log volume. And for each 8 GB RAM, you will need to have 1 core and one virtual CPU. So when you say cloud, it's all virtual. You basically they give, but that is the size you need. But when you order for so much of storage or so much of RAM or so much of virtual CPU in cloud, they would allocate everything, and you have to configure. They say each machine will be of one size, say 1 core with 2 GB or 4 GB RAM. You have to group all those and formulate an instance what you want in cloud. It's all virtual, and then on top of it you can start installing SAP, which can be shared across. That is what when you say cloud HANA cloud. We have flexibility of setting up HANA cloud also, virtually shared. If you can see this. I don't know where is that. If you see, this is how you do the sizing. You specify how many of core you need, what is the RAM and what is the disk, and then for backup how much of storage. Normally for backups and all those you need express storage, which will basically go with NAS, network attached storage. Like say there will be separate storage, which will be seen as you'll find it as a drive. Like how do you find your E drive or F drive? You'll find one more drive which is actually a different network storage drive. You'll just find it as a drive, and then you can start using that storage also. Okay. And
so what is the difference between cloud on HANA and the simple HANA?
See, cloud, there are two things. Either you can install HANA in premises, like how we have. When okay. HANA cloud, we can also set up HANA on cloud, and then that can be shared across. And you have your own hardware with you in your premises, and you install HANA, that is in premises. Okay. Instead of you having your own physical hardware, you're trying to hire a virtual hardware in cloud, and then you install HANA there, that is HANA on cloud. Okay. See, instead of having a physical hardware with you, what you do is you buy a physical virtual CPU in cloud. It's all virtual, okay, dynamically that has been configured, and you install HANA on top of it, that becomes cloud. That's it. You can work on either HANA which is running on cloud, it's all same, whether HANA running on in-premise also same. In-premise అంటే అన్ని కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటాయి, cloud అంటే కనబడదు, ఉంటుంది అంతే డిఫరెన్స్.
Sir.
Yeah.
So you said about in-house and cloud.
Yeah.
Since we talk about speed, will there be a difference in the speed when we use it in-house and when it is in the cloud?
See,
is there a performance difference?
The difference would be on the network speed, right? Because see, ultimately, whether it is on cloud or in premises, the performance throughput of HANA would be same. But by what time the results are released to the user will differ whether it is in what network. Yeah? Because see, when you say cloud, you'll have different types of clouds again. It will be private cloud, public cloud, wherever. It again depends on what kind of networking are you being connected to through to that HANA. Suppose if you're getting connected to VPN, I think compare it, let's say if I got my HANA server in premises within my local LAN, if I'm connected to HANA which is in a cloud through connecting through VPN, obviously you would see some difference because of the networking speed. But the performance throughput of HANA would be pretty much same, but you would see some difference in the through because of the networking. Otherwise, it's pretty much same.
So it is the only mobile application cloud HANA
No.
specific for any.
I can have my BW on HANA is also sitting on cloud. I can have it on cloud also. Yeah, I can have a solutioning of a BODS with HANA and then BO reporting, everything set up on cloud also. Okay, nothing like only mobile has to sit on now. Okay, now mixed approach. This is what I would think majority of the case you would have it. Okay, when I say mixed approach, you would have a case where HANA is used as a database for applications and also leveraged as a Datamart also. That is complete hybrid. Okay. So for example, now look at the case here. I've got BW with HANA as a backend, and I'm using this HANA as a backend database for BW. At the same time, I also use normal data processing techniques and do HANA modeling also. That is like mixed approach. I'm leveraging HANA as a backend database for BW as well as a separate HANA instance as a data warehousing tool, and then I extract through SLT, DXI, put data into straight away into HANA, do HANA models and mix up both BW modeling and HANA modeling. Possible? That's what we refer to as hybrid warehousing with both mix up of BW and HANA together. So look at this. If you look at this, so look at this. If you look at this kind of solutioning, I'm going to have my SAP or non-SAP systems. This only HANA. This is pure HANA bus, where HANA is used as a data mart, where through SLT or BODS extract all the data and store into physical tables. On top of it, I create these virtual models, and top of it I do reporting. This is like normal native HANA. Okay, HANA has data mart. If you look at this case, I've got BW application running on HANA, and for as a nearline storage, I'm using Sybase IQ. We'll discuss on NLS later. So I'm using BW extraction mechanism in some cases where if I want to leverage standard business function, business content extractors, I use BW extraction to extract data into BW. Ultimately, what are the data I store into my BW DS or cubes? Ultimately, it is stored into what? Underlying HANA tables. And I can also use SLT or ETL, BODS, whatever it is, and extract it non-SAP or something and put into HANA tables directly. By leveraging BW tables or the tables what is going to replicate through SLT, whatever it is, I can mix up all this and create my HANA models. On top of it, I can do reporting. This is complete hybrid. And this is where we are using full HANA licensing. So I'm using that as a database. See, HANA has been leveraged as a database for BW, and the same way HANA is also leveraged as a data mart where I'm using ETL part and pushing data into HANA and then doing reporting on top of it. So I'll be doing reporting on BW. Some cases I'll be doing reporting on models also. This is what I would refer as hybrid. Okay, this is what I would refer it as mixed approach.
Sir,
Yeah.
before screen you shown to us that is SAP Studio or SAP HANA instead of SAP BW. So business is ready to look instead of BW. I mean BW no longer.
Why not?
No longer continue. Yeah.
You're asking me, are there customers who are looking at this with native without BW? Yes. That's what I'm saying. If I'm looking at a customer who has got completely non-SAP applications and you want to build a warehouse, there's no point in going for BW because I'm not leveraging business content. If there are customers who doesn't have any of the SAP source and they want to build a warehouse implementation, and huge data with real time they want, then I'll go with HANA directly. I'll not even use BW, because if I'm leveraging ready-made standard business content BW makes sense. When I'm not using it, then I will implement my warehouse just with native HANA itself directly. Okay. I'll install HANA as a centralized database, collect all the data from different systems through BODS or SLT, and push data into it and create virtual models and then do reporting. And if it's
not sure on
implementation.
not sure on SAP HANA. Yes, sir. Not sure on SAP HANA, but SAP HANA Studio also supporting modeling and everything.
Don't get confused with HANA and HANA Studio. HANA is a database. Okay. HANA Studio is a client.
Okay.
HANA Studio is a client application to work on. For example, if you have MS SQL Server, you have SQL Server database. Management Studio is a client tool to work on SQL Server database. HANA is a server. HANA Studio is a client application to work on HANA database. No, HANA Studio where software, HANA where software. HANA is a database. When you want what interact with HANA database start working, use HANA Studio. Now, for example, BW is a server. Now, when you want to work on BW, what do? You have SAP GUI. By installing SAP GUI, you get connected to BW and start working on. Same way, if you want to work on HANA, you install HANA Studio, which is a front-end client, and then you work in. HANA Studio where HANA server where HANA server. HANA work get it command prompt and working. So they've given one client-based tool, which is what HANA Studio, and then you log in and you start working on it. Confused about HANA Studio modeling is analysis. Okay.
Sir, one more question regarding non-SAP. Sir, I have one question regarding when you say non-SAP platform.
Yeah.
Does that mean mainframe also come into the picture?
Anything. For example, there is a customer who's got applications running on mainframe with DB2 or DB6 as a backend database. Then there's no point for me to implement warehouse with BW with HANA or BW, because I'm not leveraging standard business content. I'll end up creating all those infobix, recreate all those infobix and build my products and then do reporting. Instead of doing that, if I set install HANA, which let's say data is huge, I can just replicate the data from DB2 tables into my HANA tables and formulate a schema. On top of those tables, I'll create my virtual models and then do reporting on top of it. So in this case, this would be more easier for me, right?
Yeah, and in mainframe application, it is not only that we concept. Will that?
What is it?
Flat file.
Yeah. HANA can extract data from once I give the combination of BODS and HANA for you, you can extract anything from any system almost, because BODS gives you flexibility of extract data from almost anything for you, whether it is flat file, CSV file, .csv, any database, anything was XML, anything it can. Yeah.
So in that case, SLT will not come into the
because
line.
SLT also can come in. See, there are two ways. When you want to do a data you were discussing on how do I bring data into HANA. You can extract data from SAP or non-SAP data into HANA by using any of these data processing techniques. Like I can use BODS as ETL tool. I can use SLT. I can use DXC mechanism. I can use smart data access. I can use smart data quality and integration also. If I use BODS, I can extract data from table, file, anything it can do. Okay. SAP or non-SAP. If I use SLT also, even by using SLT, I can extract data from SAP databases or non-SAP database also in real time or batch mode, but only from tables only. I can also use SLT in this case. Hello? When I want to extract data from DB2, I can extract through SLT, I can extract through BODS also. There's no difference here. But when the source is an SAP, if I'm using SLT, I can only replicate tables or views. But if I want to extract data from data sources, BODS should be the case, or DX, another mechanism of direct extraction should be the case. Because SLT cannot be leveraged to extract data from data sources. Only a table, it can replicate a table or a view. In the latest support pack of SP5, you can extract from view, not database view. No flexibility of data source here. That's what. But if you're extracting from a non-SAP, if it is DB2, it's always a table. Either you extract from BODS or SLT should not make a difference for it. The only thing is, SLT gives you flexibility of bringing data in real time for you into HANA. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Shyam. In what scenario we'll go for HANA Studio? So let's say we have SAP BW 7.3 system and we have HANA database. So in that case, we are going to use HANA